Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we're back in the Iowa and back into the aggressive battleship play that everybody seems to want me to try. And I say that, and I know some of you are sending me messages saying, Spartan, don't worry about what other people play your game. I do, but I like feedback, and one of the feedback that I get, or one of the main feedback that I get from people is that I'm too passive. So don't take it the wrong way. It's not like I think that I'm a terrible player or anything like that, even though I do always, self-deprecate myself. But besides that, it's all in good fun, guys. Trust me. I like a challenge. I really do. So when people say, hey, you should try not being so passive or not being so patient, I say, I see you, and I raise you another Iowa replay. Because the Iowa is such a good ship that it doesn't matter if you're passive and you're shooting at 20 kilometers or if you're pushing up and you're nuking people. It doesn't matter. As long as you play the game with half a brain, and I say that, lovingly, as long as you play the game with half a brain in an Iowa, you are going to do well. You just cannot afford to give up the broadside of this ship. I mean, I know I'm doing it right now, but it's a Gnizano, and he didn't even shoot at me. There is an Iowa out there, however, but I need to get around the left side of this. And, hey, look, a new feature. I say new feature, it's because I changed my controller layout, which means I'm learning a new controller layout at the exact same time I'm doing this. So you're not going to see me lock my guns anymore. I didn't use it much anyway. I like this a little bit better, but right now I believe I'm on controller layout 2, so keep that in mind. But I wanted it because I wanted to be able to show the shells flying through the air, and we can do that. Hello, Benson. Wait for it. Oh, look at him. He's turning. He's like, nah, I don't want none. You're right, Sunshine. You don't want none, but you're gonna get it. Wait for it. Gah! What? Really? We got him with 2 overpins. But that's okay. Now, this Tirpitz and I are going to work really well together, even with very little communication. And by very little communication, I mean I'm literally the only one going to talk, and I'm going to be like, hey, dude, don't sail right around that corner. That Benson made a sharp turn straight for us. He's going to try to torp us. Do not sail straight around that corner. And you see, I'm already slowing down. I'm like, I know what this is. I've seen this movie before. No thank you, not doing it. Wait for him, he'll show himself, and we will be ready with 2 battleships ready to delete him. And I have my plane up, which means I should be able to spot him. Yep, and there he is. You failed, Sunshine. Hello. Tirpitz hits him, and I hit him. Who's gonna get the better? Who's got the better secondaries? That's right, the Iowa. So many German battleship captains are triggered right now. How the heck can a Tirpitz be that much closer and still the Iowa's secondaries are the first ones to hit? That's pretty simple, honestly. Mine fired first. We were both going to hit him, but mine fired first. Mine fired the moment he had come around that corner, or before he actually came around the corner, they had already started firing. So he kind of ran into them. And that was kind of nice. Now this Iowa here is in a world of trouble because his battleship buddy, unlike mine, has run away and left him 1 versus 3. The Jervis, I'll be real honest, this Jervis can come in clutch in this match, and then he can absolutely blow it in this match. So I'm not flaming him, we all make mistakes, but you're gonna see a pretty big fail later on, and I hope you guys are ready. This is gonna be an intense match, by the way. This is starting off a little bit normal, right? I'm sitting here, I'm trying to get my guns involved, I'm trying to do everything we can. We've already killed one ship, we're on our way to killing another. We've got 2 torpedo boats cross-torping this man in his Iowa. It's 900 feet long and he's reversing, which means he's got very little chance of making it out of here alive. And, did I mention, there's an Iowa right in front of him. If he turns that ship, I'm going to Citadel him into pieces. But I'm not going to wait for that. I'm going to keep shooting him and getting as much damage as I can, penetrating through the superstructure of the Iowa, because while it's bow tanking, that's the easiest way to do damage to it. Unless, of course, you have torps. Speaking of torps, they land torps. The Jervis lands torps, the Tirpitz managed to land a torp, Everybody got to torp him, except me, because I don't get him. But I'm going to get another shot off, and I'm like, surely I'll be able to finish him. His secondaries managed to set a fire on the Iowa, unfortunately, and we take the shot, and just as we do, he dies. Darn it! So close. But we're at 40,000 damage, we've got a kill, and we're moving into the cap, because I noticed that the Tirpitz was about to drive out of the cap, so I'm like, I gotta get up in there, because we need this cap. The enemy's got B almost capped, and it's got A already capped. We need points, we need to make this game, you know, as close as we can points-wise, because we can't guarantee kill everybody. And that's the part that I think a lot of people struggle with. Points win and lose games, folks. As much as I hate them, don't get me wrong, I hate cap points in any battle game, whether it's Call of Duty, whether it's, you know, World of Tanks, whether it's World of Warships, I don't care. Crossout, all of them. I hate cap points. Why? Because it gives people another way to win the game. But everybody knows that they're... Oh my god, the Gnizano just torped a Tirpitz. That's hard to say. Torped a Tirpitz. But if he had stayed in the cap, we would have had this capped much sooner. And that short amount of time extra with capture points may have just won us the match. You never know. So, going forward, try, if you're there, like, obviously last night in the King George, capping the base wasn't going to be doing me any good. They had 3 of the caps, I would only had 1, and I was better off trying to kill everybody in that situation. And we almost succeeded. Well, I say almost, it wasn't even close with the 2 battleships, but we were, you know, we were trying. Now, the Gnizano here is versus a Tirpitz. Tirpitz is bow tanking. I figured Tirpitz is going to win that match 9 times out of 10 with no more than the Gnizano has left. I have bigger problems to worry about. I have an Iowa over here broadside on to a dispersion build Iowa at 10.7 kilometers. He notices, and he's correcting right now. So watch what I do. I take the shots. I knew he was slowing down to turn, so I go ahead, I fire back into him, and we get some nasty penetration right through that superstructure. Again, superstructure on an Iowa is the best place to shoot a bow tanking Iowa, because you're going to get consistent damage. This ship, I've said it before, 900... Hello, New Orleans! You don't have much health left. I need you gone, because you're a fire starter, if nothing else. So we go ahead, we fire the shot, and I wish I had followed these in, but he disappears, and we do get a hit. But we get 2 overpins and no actual real damage on him, because if we had, he would be dead. That's a shame. That's a real shame. And he gets away with it. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. Fire starter. See what I'm saying? Right there. Just firing high explosive, because that's what he does. He hides behind an island and he fires high explosive at me. Just like in Atlanta, only not quite as bad. But that being said, this Iowa is getting much closer to me, but I have a secret weapon behind me. I have a Jervis. This Jervis is going to be huge, because he's going to get spotted, and this Iowa is like, oh my god, torpedoes are in the water, I gotta get out of here! But now, you're broadside to an Iowa at 3 kilometers? That's not going to be a good look. Of course, he manages to knock out my front 2 turrets, and while he takes all of that damage from those torpedoes, nice torpedo strike, I'm like, I still got the rear gun. I can still Citadel you. Good night, sunshine. And down he goes. Thank you, Jervis. Appreciate it. Coming in clutch right there. I almost had to go into bad mode because he knocked out my front turrets. I was almost loaded, and it forced a full reload. It was a shame. Luckily, he took a lot of damage from torpedoes, and then I was able to Citadel him to death. So, we got lucky. Now, the second Iowa is sailing away, and he's a long ways away. He's fully in range to shoot me. I know this because I can shoot him. But I can't keep bow tanking him. I have bigger objectives. I have to get these caps. I have to get this cap minimum. So, we're going to do the unthinkable and give our broadside to an Iowa. Now, I notice he's not really looking at me at the moment, so I go ahead, I throw another shell in his direction, and we get ready to shoot the New Orleans. But the New Orleans is already dead, so I could have shot the front guns at him, and it looks like I'm about to. Come on, Spartan, get the guns. There you go. Guns are on. Take the shot. And now we're about to give a flat broadside to an Iowa. Luckily for us, he wasn't shooting at us, and we managed to, overshoot him because he started turning in. Unfortunate, but that's what happens. Small corrections at distance like this equal big misses for anybody. And so we managed to miss that. Now, I am very well aware that there is a King George ahead of me, and there is a there's an Iowa to my right, and there is a Akatsuki somewhere. I don't know where, but he's somewhere. And so we got this King George who's doing what King Georges do. They fire high explosives, so I go ahead and start launching at him. But the fact that he's firing high explosive gives me the ability to give him my absolute broadside. And I'm not going to lie, I was expecting to do more damage with that salvo. But this King George is going to be very, very much a pain in my side. Because he's going to be the luckiest King George that ever lived. Do you know how many King Georges I have wiped off the planet with an Iowa? Because they're doing exactly what he's doing right now, sailing very slow, very straight, and very broadside. And so, right now, I am begging the guy behind me in the destroyer. We're both capping, which is what we need to do. We need this base. We need to get those points swung back around, because they have a significant lead from having so many more points for so much longer than us. And the moment, and here's where I make a mistake, anytime that happens, aim a little further down. Because when you do that, when they disappear, your shot is then targeted much further out than what the ship would have been. So aim a little bit lower next time, if you ever encounter that situation. So I completely missed him right there, and that's going to be critical. Because he could have died from that, and he should die from my next salvo for sure. Because, again, he is giving the best possible shot to an Iowa at 10 kilometers. 8,000 damage, really, Gabe? Really? Now, that's our high caliber. We're at 119,000 damage, and we ain't over yet. I had already started turning and changing direction because I knew torpedoes were imminent. That's why I was begging that Jervis to go out there and find that Akatsuki for us. And he goes out and he lays a smoke screen. He gets spotted, so, laying a smoke screen, not the worst idea. And it looked like he may have taken some high explosive damage from that King George, which is definitely not what you want in a destroyer. But then the Iowa does the unthinkable and says, I don't think I'll get citadeled here. You're wrong. I mean, how many times can somebody give me the broadside of the ship and me not citadel them from 10 kilometers? It shouldn't happen. This ship should delete you at 10 kilometers if you're broadside on. It's disgusting. But it doesn't always happen that way. And it's probably a good thing that it doesn't always happen that way, or there would be a lot less people playing. But I get the Akatsuki out here, and I'm like, okay, we can do this. And I'm trying to lead the shot as best I can. I take the shot at the Akatsuki, trying to get him off the board. I need those torps gone. And we come up just short. We almost had the perfect lead. Almost. But not quite. Now, I'm very worried about the Iowa because I'm going towards the King George. My teammates are going for the Iowa and the Akatsuki. Neither of those guys have much health, so I'm assuming that we are going to win that fight. Assumptions are very bad, guys. King George, I've had enough. You die today. Quit playing teeter-totter. Oh my god, why do I have to leave everybody with just enough health to get away? Why can't I just finish somebody outright? Really? This is like World of Tanks Mercy rolling all over again. But it happens. The King George is about to come around the other side of the island. We've got the Iowa on the right side of me that we got to get ready to fight. And we have King George about... Come on. Give me the King George. Okay, well, Iowa, I've got no choice. I've got to turn, and we do manage to bounce the majority of those off of the front armor. And you can't get this lucky every time, right? No, apparently you can. You can definitely get this lucky every single time I shoot somebody. Just leave them with just enough. Not allowed to actually finish anybody. Just gotta leave them with just enough to get away with it. So then I fire the rear guns. I'd already had that planned. Shoot the Iowa, fire the rear guns at the King George, and finish him off. And what do I get out of it? Completely screwed over again, leaving him with no health. when I should have hit him with all 3 rounds, I only hit him with 1, which is bullcrap. At 7 kilometers or 8 kilometers, wherever he's at, he should not have survived. So this time, I don't even take a chance. I'm like, screw it. Both guns. You're dead. I'm not taking it again. And of course, that time we get 2 overpins on the side of a battleship. Gotta love it. Akatsuki comes around the corner. What does that mean? Torpedoes are in the water. Anybody knows in their right mind torpedoes in the water. Luckily, I make the right decision, turn towards land, and land can help save my life. Because I take 1 torpedo, but we manage to avoid all of the rest. We've got the rear gun, so we go ahead, put the rear gun on him, and we got the front gun. Or no, that was the front and then the rear. And we finish off the Akatsuki. But unfortunately, we only got 10 seconds left. The Iowa managed to get around the corner. We don't have enough time to get enough points, and we are going to lose the match. The Jervis could have sunk that Iowa, but he didn't. He stayed behind me for some reason. Which is why I say he kind of blew the end of that game. We had that. And we lost on a technicality. And it was a very close, tense match. So I hope you guys enjoyed. A lot more aggressive battleship play on the way. And if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button. Leave a comment below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And as always, I will see you in the next video.